Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Warriors complete 5-team trade for Klay Thompson replacement, report. After parting ways with Klay Thompson in free agency, the Golden State Warriors are wheeling and dealing. They've finalized a sign-and trade to acquire Buddy Hield from the Philadelphia 76ers. Shams Charania of The Athletic was first with reports of the finished deal. The Golden State Warriors have agreed to a deal acquiring Buddy Hield via sign-and trade from the 76ers, sources tell at The Athletic at Stadium. New teammates Hield and Stephen Curry are leaders for most three-pointers made over the last 5 NBA seasons, and now will be teammates. The Golden State Warriors have agreed to a deal acquiring Buddy Hield via sign-and trade from the 76ers, sources tell at The Athletic at Stadium, Charania tweeted on July 4. New teammates Hield and Stephen Curry are leaders for most three-pointers made over the last 5 NBA seasons, and now will be teammates. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski followed up with details on Hield's new contract. ESPN sources, free agent Buddy Hield is joining Golden State on a sign-and trade deal guaranteed for 2 years and $21 million. Hield gets $18 million in first 2 years, a $3 million partial guarantee in third year and player option on non-guaranteed fourth year. Warriors send Sixers 2031 second. ESPN sources, free agent Buddy Hield is joining Golden State on a sign-and trade deal guaranteed for 2 years and $21 million, Wojnarowski tweeted. Hield gets $18 million in first 2 years, a $3 million partial guarantee in third year and player option on non-guaranteed fourth year. Warriors send Sixers 2031 second via Dallas. Hield is coming off of his 8th NBA campaign. He started the 2023 to 2024 year off with the Indiana Pacers before being dealt to the 76ers at the trade deadline. Hield averaged 12.1 points, 3.2 rebounds, and 2.8 assists per game between 84 regular season appearances last season. He is a career 40% three-point shooter. Anthony Slater of The Athletic reported on July 4 that the sign-and trade for Hield will be a part of a 5-team deal. The Buddy Hield deal will be roped into a 5-team trade, per sources, stemming from the Klay Thompson move to Dallas, which now makes Kyle Anderson and Hield the combined return to GSW for Klay, Slater tweeted. Kyle Anderson arrived to Golden State by way of a sign-and trade of his own. He signed a 3-year, $27 million deal en route from the Minnesota Timberwolves. That means that he, Hield, and others will be grouped together in one deal amongst 5 teams. That includes the Dallas Mavericks, who acquired Thompson on a 3-year, $50 million deal in a sign-and trade, too. The 5th team is the Charlotte Hornets, who acquired Josh Green as a part of the Thompson deal. Charania added in his official report that Hield chose the Warriors over other offers. He chose the Warriors over other offers to have an opportunity to win, per league sources, Charania wrote on July 4. One would have to think that Hield thinks he has a chance at winning the starting 2-guard spot. When the Warriors benched Thompson last season, it was for rookie guard Brandon Podziemski. The first-round pick shined, averaging 9.5 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 4 assists. Head coach Steve Kerr will likely allow Hield and Podziemski to compete for the spot in training camp. But it's the latter who offers the premier three-point shooting they had in Thompson. Hield has started 412 of his 632 career games. Or perhaps the veteran guard is insurance for when Curry is off the floor. Having one or the other on the floor at all times leaves Golden State with elite three-point shot making at all times. The Warriors have replaced Chris Paul and Thompson with Anderson, Hield, and DeAnthony Melton. Their actual chances of contending aside, it's a nice return for 2 veterans on the back nines of their careers. NBA fans react to the Warriors acquiring Buddy Hield. The Golden State Warriors are still fresh off losing one of their own, but GM Mike Dunleavy Jr. has already made moves to make up for it. The Warriors' first big acquisition has come in the form of Buddy Hield, who has just been confirmed to be Steph's newest teammate via a sign-and-trade agreement with the 76ers and 3 other teams. The Golden State Warriors have agreed to a deal acquiring Buddy Hield via sign-and-trade from the 76ers, wrote Shams Charania. New teammates Hield and Stephen Curry are leaders for most three-pointers made over the last 5 NBA seasons, and now will be teammates. Hield, 31, averaged 12.1 points, 3.2 rebounds, and 2.8 assists per game on 43.6% shooting. Despite the relatively modest numbers, Hield has been among the league's best three-point shooters for several years now, and fans were happy to see him paired up with Stephen Curry. While this trade won't make the Warriors favorites in the West, it might be enough to make things interesting, especially if there are more moves on the way. At the very least, the acquisition of Buddy will help lessen the sting of losing Klay. Hield will never be the defender that Thompson was in his prime, but there is a belief that he can give them what they need the most, more shooting around Curry. The Warriors have lost several players from their rotation last season, but the idea is that they can improve as a team overall by adjusting their roster and replacing some of their valued role players with better-fitting pieces. The Warriors still have a long way to go in terms of building a contender in the West, but most can agree that their summer acquisitions have been solid so far and should prove to be good fits on the floor. Of course, the Warriors have always had big ambitions, and many fans are already pushing them to trade whatever assets they have left to bring in Lauri Markkanen. NBA rumors, Warriors, Spurs among teams with substantial Lauri Markkanen trade offers on table. The most appealing trade candidate in the NBA is currently Utah Jazz forward Lauri Markkanen. With so many big names gone in the free agency pool, the 27-year-old sharpshooter is perhaps the best potentially available player on either the trade market or in free agency. The Jazz are in a rebuild, adding several young players to their roster again as Markkanen continues to age into his prime years. To make sure he isn't lost to another team for nothing next summer, Utah will either have to extend Markkanen's contract, which expires after the season, or trade him. Given his immense value, he's making just over $18 million next season, and age, the latter option appears to make more sense, especially with so many suitors lining up. According to Tony Jones of The Athletic, the Golden State Warriors, San Antonio Spurs, and Sacramento Kings have substantial offers for Markkanen. Each of those teams has been linked to a pursuit of the Finnish star previously, but Jones points them out as the teams making the biggest efforts. Jones wrote that Markkanen is a star. The NBA knows this. That's why half the league is standing in line, hoping the Jazz decide to trade him. Out of that number, several reports have teams such as the Golden State Warriors, San Antonio Spurs, and Sacramento Kings ramping up interest and preparing offers for the Jazz to mull. The Jazz know this as well, which is why they are hesitant to trade Markkanen, even amid a rebuild that still appears to be in its infancy. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Lauri Markkanen? Leave your opinion in the comments.